Let me tell you, sometimes high school feels less like a coming-of-age movie and more like a test you never signed up for. I mean, picture this. You're sitting alone, minding your business in the corner of the Jefferson High cafeteria, just trying to eat your sandwich in peace, hoping nobody notices you exist, but that's never how it goes, is it? My name's Ezra Nakamura, and let me just say, there's a reason I like staying quiet, blending in, because the minute you poke your head up, someone's got to come along and try to knock it off. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's pretty much how my story started in Portland, Oregon, a long way from the chaos of Sao Paulo, Brazil. I'd only been at Jefferson 3 months, but that was enough to figure out how the social food chain worked. You had your jocks, your drama queens, your wannabe influencers, and then the kids like me, trying not to make eye contact and hoping the universe cut us a break. Didn't help that I was the foreign kid, with black hair always in my eyes and a last name nobody could say right. My parents thought America would be this golden land of opportunity, but they didn't warn me about cafeteria politics or the way the wrong lunch seat could turn into World War III. So there I was, just counting the seconds till lunch was over, when Marcus Rivera and his two shadows, Tyler Brooks and Danny Ortega, made their way over. Marcus had that look, you know, the one. 6 feet tall, muscles on display, acting like the whole school was his personal stage and the rest of us were just background extras. Well, he says all loud and cocky. Look who's in our seat again. You'd think this guy paid rent on that table. I looked up and said, didn't realize we had assigned seating, which, honestly, I knew was asking for trouble, but sometimes you can't help yourself. That got a laugh from the kids nearby, but Marcus didn't find it funny. Everything's assigned when I say it is foreign boy. Been warned twice already. There was the label. Foreign. Like I was some kind of disease spreading through his cafeteria. I'd heard worse back in Brazil, but it never stopped stinging. I tried to defuse it, told him I'd move, started gathering my things, but Tyler smirked. Too late for that. And next thing I knew, Danny had swiped my tray onto the floor, milk and sandwich everywhere, half the cafeteria laughing. Oops, Danny grinned. All fake innocence. Right then, every muscle in my body wanted to do what it knew best: years of training in my uncle's MMA gym in Sao Paulo. All those hours of striking and grappling and learning exactly how to drop a guy twice my size. Instead, I heard Uncle Miguel's voice in my head. A true fighter knows when not to fight. Your hands are weapons now. Use them wisely. So I got down and picked up my food, telling myself it wasn't worth it, not yet. Marcus kicked some crumbs my way, leaned in and sneered. This spot's for Americans only. Remember that. The worst part wasn't even what he said. It was the way everyone else just watched, or worse, filmed it for their group chats. The lunch monitor, Mrs. Patterson, looked away like she hadn't seen a thing. I finished cleaning up, stood with milk-soaked jeans and whatever was left of my pride, and only one person, Sarah Kim, another quiet loner, met my eyes. She gave a tiny nod, sympathy maybe, but she wasn't sticking her neck out for me. Who could blame her? The rest of that day was a parade of humiliation. Someone wrote, "loser," on my chemistry desk. Coach paired me with Marcus in wrestling. Let's just say he took a few accidental shots at my ribs. I'd been respected back in Brazil, even a little feared, won a couple tournaments, trained with pros, but here, I was just another nobody, and Marcus made sure everyone knew it. My parents, working double shifts at the hospital, had given up everything to get me here. Disappointing them wasn't an option, so I kept my mouth shut, even as the laughter followed me all the way home. That night, I stood in front of my bedroom mirror, working through old MMA routines, hands and feet moving automatically, body remembering every move. In that glass, I saw someone nobody at Jefferson had met, yet a weapon hiding his prey. But the next day, it got worse. A "kick me" sign taped to my locker in both English and mangled Portuguese. Tyler accidentally spilled coffee all over my notes. And lunch? Marcus and his crew claimed my table again, made my new spot just as miserable. You know what your problem is? Marcus said, cornering me by the vending machines. You think you're better than us with your mysterious foreign act. Some girls might fall for it, but I see right through you. I just kept my hands up, peaceful, not rising to it. Don't want trouble, I told him. Too bad, he replied. Trouble found me anyway every day, in new and creative ways. My gym bag dumped in the hallway, textbooks ripped apart, even a group chat called Ezra Watch just to keep tabs on how many times I got knocked down. But I held on, waking up every day with fists clenched and Uncle Miguel's words fading in my memory. Then Thursday happened. Rain coming down, Marcus and his boys plus 6 football seniors for good measure cornered me outside the gym. "Heard you've been telling people you could take me in a fight," Marcus said, loud enough for the hallway to freeze. "Never said that," I replied, but he just stepped in close, using his height. Calling me a liar? The circle tightened. Phones came out, everyone ready to watch me get destroyed for the millionth time. "I'm not looking for a fight," I told him, but my stance changed, weight on my toes, hands loose, mind racing. Marcus shoved me into Tyler, who pushed me into Danny, turning me into a human volleyball, the crowd eating it up. "Stop," I finally snapped, voice sharper than before. "Or what?" Marcus said, grabbing me and slamming me into the lockers. My shoulder screamed in pain, but something inside me, all the months of being the punching bag, all the racism, all the humiliation just snapped. "You want to fight?" I said, suddenly louder, my accent sounding different, more dangerous. "Let's fight." The shift was instant. Marcus tried to play tough, but his fists came up sloppy, no real technique. He swung a wild punch, I slipped it, hit him with an elbow to the ribs, so clean the sound echoed. Marcus gasped, clutching his side, but I was already moving. Jab to Tyler, leg sweep, he hit the ground hard. Danny lunged at me, but I twisted his arm and slammed him into the lockers, blood pouring from his nose. The circle of football players just disappeared. Marcus looked at me with real fear now. "What are you?" he whispered. "I'm someone you should have left alone," I said, calm, almost bored. He swung again, desperate, but I caught his wrist, slammed him back with a palm strike. He crashed into the crowd, gasping for air. I hauled him up by his shirt, gave him a knee to the gut, then an uppercut. Months of pain paid back in seconds. "You wanted to teach me manners?" I asked, voice ice cold. "Let me return the favor." When it was over, Marcus was on his knees, blood on his face, all that power gone. The crowd just stared, silent. "Anyone else want to call me foreign boy?" I asked. No takers. Right then, Principal Williams showed up, saw the mess, 3 bullies on the ground, a crowd of witnesses, and every phone in the school pointed at me. "What happened?" he barked. Before I could speak, Sarah Kim, quiet little Sarah, stepped up. "Self-defense. They attacked him first. We all saw. And that was that." Principal handed out the usual suspension for Marcus and his crew, a slap on the wrist detention for me, some speech about violence not being the answer. But the real verdict was already online, the video flying across every group chat at Jefferson. Lunch was different after that. People moved aside as I walked in, nods replacing smirks, football players finding somewhere else to sit. The old kingdom Marcus ruled? Empty. Sarah Kim joined me that day. "Mind if I sit?" she asked. "Please," I said, and for the first time, I felt like maybe, just maybe, I belonged. She wanted to know my story. I told her about VALE TUDO, about training in Brazil. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" she asked. I shrugged. Thought being strong meant not having to prove it. I was wrong. She understood. 2 weeks later, Marcus stopped me after school, alone, nervous. "I wanted to apologize," he said, struggling with the words. "My dad saw the video. Wasn't proud. I don't want to be like him, hurting people to feel big. Wasn't perfect, but it was honest." I told him, apology accepted. "But we're not friends." He nodded. "I know. Thanks for stopping when you did. You could have really hurt me." I could have, but I didn't want to be that guy either. By the time summer rolled around, life had changed. I ate lunch with friends now, joined the local MMA gym, felt that old confidence returning, but it was different this time, grounded, balanced, no longer something I had to hide. When younger kids were picked on, just standing nearby was enough to stop it. I guess people finally saw me not as a victim or a threat, just as me. So that's what happened. And if you ask me, sometimes the real fight isn't about fists or trophies, it's about holding on to who you are when everyone's trying to take it away. You ever seen someone turn a whole school upside down by refusing to stay silent? Yeah, that happened. But what would you have done? Where's the line between standing up for yourself and becoming the thing you hate? Let me know in the comments. I think this is a debate worth having.